And it is my pleasure to welcome you to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful Apple Valley. Because the health and safety of our community is our highest priority, we are requiring you to wear masks at all times while in the building, unless you are speaking from the platform. We have some great music today. Emily Caruth will be joining our music director, Chris Ermston, a little bit later in our service. As a reminder, please leave your masks on while you're singing. And the lyrics are in your program. We will open our service today with "Love is My Decision."
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. Up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. Up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. My decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
all-inclusive center of love, where we recognize and celebrate each person as a divine and unique expression of the one Spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Please join me in reading the opening community affirmation. It's in your program on the left side. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit is through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is creative and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. Is there anyone joining us today for the first time? Well, welcome to all of you online that are joining us for the first time and all of you that are joining us. Thank you for being with us today. We have welcome packets for our guests, and there are none for first-time visitors. We don't have any today. So I'm going to jump right into announcements. The announcements are in your program each week. But you can also see the announcements on our monitors either before or after service. And we do have a few live announcements that I would like to highlight today. The Change for Good continues. Thank you again to Susie Clark, Eleanor Ewell, and Judy St. Clair for creating our Change for Good, Change for God campaign. If you haven't started yet, but would love to participate, you still can. We have one more week. Please feel free to pick up a Thanks Bank jar in the garden room today or during office hours throughout the week, and also pick up the 40-day abundance affirmations. Each day there's an affirmation for that day for abundance. Each day you're invited to read the affirmation for the day and deposit some change or bills into the jar. The 40th day is the 21st of November, which is next Sunday. Don't forget to bring your jar for depositing. We have a great big 5-gallon jar for you to put your donations in. We know that together we prosper. On that 40th day, which again is next Sunday, November 21st, we will be having a gratitude feast. It's a gift from our CSL Board of Directors. All are welcome. This is not a potluck. Everything will be provided. Please come and enjoy. We will be serving 2 kinds of chili, vegetarian and meat-based, and we will also have cornbread, salad, and a special dessert. Please sign up at the concierge table so we know how much chili and cornbread and salad to prepare. You can sign up today or anytime up until Wednesday, November 17th. We need to have time to get our stuff in order. So those of you online, you can call in your reservations if you choose to attend during office hours at 760-242-2302, and that number is always on our programs. And again, the last day to sign up is Wednesday, November 17th. Then directly after our gratitude feast next Sunday, we will have our monthly board meeting, and all are invited to attend that. And we usually do service, eat, and then do our board meeting. So we're going to continue in that tradition. Are you curious about what the HDCSL Board of Trustees does? I was. Join us Monday, November 15th at 6 p.m. for an interactive session on Zoom that will provide information about how the board works and what a rich and rewarding experience it is to serve. All are welcome to join this Zoom meeting, even if you are not thinking of running for the board. It does everyone in our community. I think it's a benefit to everyone in our community to know what the board does and what we do and how you can interact with us better and make this the best place in the valley, like we are. So please sign up at the concierge table with your email address, and Reverend Sharon will be sending you a link. We also have lunch with Rev. It's set for Tuesday, November 23rd at 12:30 in Fellowship Hall, and you bring your own lunch, and it's a lovely time to chat. Holiday decorating, it's a busy time of year. Holiday decorating here at the center is happening Monday and Tuesday, November 22nd and 23rd, from 9 till 2. All are welcome to attend. Together, let's get our center decorated for the holiday season. It's a lot of fun and another excuse for all of us to get together. We decorate trees, we put up decorations. If you can come either day or both, please sign up in the garden room at the concierge table. We would love to have you join us. The more, the merrier. And one final announcement today is you should have received Your Opinion Matters when you came in today. This is for the selection committee. A lot of you attended the co-creation meeting for our new minister, and the selection committee wants everyone to have a voice. And so if there's something in particular that you want, or only one thing that you don't want, because we're a positive place. So you want your top 3 things that you want in a minister, and if there is something you don't want, please feel free to add that. We'll collect these in the collection basket if you have them done by that time. Otherwise, on the concierge table, there's a basket with lists. Okay, it's one of my favorite times. Every Sunday, we share the vision for our new minister. We ask you to hold this vision with us throughout the week. Printed copies are available at the concierge table for you to take home as well. Our purpose is unity. Our vision is to be a dynamic teaching center where we learn to experience the Spirit within us and to express our fullest potential in life. Our new minister is comfortable with shared leadership, accessible to our community, has humor, tact, and is kind. Our new minister is intelligent, a fine teacher of science of mind, an inspired speaker, and feeds us spiritually. Our new minister lives the science of mind with integrity, has a consciousness of abundance, is authentic and unbiased. Our new minister is enthusiastic while being emotionally mature, committed and connected to our community, and wise in all of their affairs. And so it is. At this time, I would like to welcome our practitioner of the day, Frank St. Clair.
It's okay to make a joyful noise, folks. Well, how are you enjoying spring in the middle of fall? I would like to just take a quick moment at the end here of the announcements to thank all the people who showed up for our work day on the first Saturday of the month. We got a lot of trimming and picking up and trash cleanup and all that kind of stuff done. I'd like to thank Susie, Lori Smith, Marie and Thomas, Clay, Brandy and Vince, Judy and Frank, and Richard. Thank you very much for showing up and keeping this place looking great. Okay, now I'll get back to my regular duties here. Please join me as we read Dr. Ernest Holmes' Promises Together. You will find it on the front page of your program. If you will join me, please. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy, with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. We now have some special music, Emily and Chris.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I am responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We are responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
That is a most beautiful meditation and prayer. It is something that we can all do. We can all use this prayer during the week when we need to center and become aware of our divine self. It's called Ho'oponopono. Thank you very much. I didn't miss the script.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
Thank you. It's still beautiful, even if I mess it up. Eleanor, will you join me, please, for the flames of faith? We perform this ceremony on Sundays to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from one great universal presence we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of new thought, embracing the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the last candle, the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. If you will join me now in prayer. Now that we know we are sons of the divine, we step back into that place of holy of holies within ourselves, that place where we communicate with God. We partake of this divine nature, for it is our nature. We are individualizations of this divine power. I awaken to this understanding in my heart and in my mind. I am a unique expression and experience of this one universal spirit. I consciously court my recognition of the universal presence within me, moving through me, as me. I see that divine spark within myself and others. I am inspired with this understanding and go forth into my daily life to create more joy, peace, and love in the world. And so it is, and so we are. Amen. Now we have some special music, please.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, the smile's returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here he comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. It's alright.
Wonderful, Chris. Thank you so much. This is our giving time. Take a moment to join me in appreciation for this community. What? Oh, okay. Frank, when you turn the pages, if you turn them back where you left them, that would be really appreciated. Thank you. Ho'oponopono. In Hawaii, you say each no. You say each syllable. They always have vowels. Okay. Here we go. So today, our guest speaker is Reverend Marianne Cordova Breen. I'll get it. Reverend Marianne is currently the assistant minister at Claremont CSL. She's been a licensed religious science practitioner for over 18 years. She has a master's in consciousness and currently sits on the board of directors for both profit and nonprofit agencies. Marianne also has a master's degree in business administration. She retired as president of a multi-million-dollar business in 2015, for which she also held a general contractor's license. And even though you've heard this before, I'd like to read it again. Marianne thought I could skip it, but I'd like you to know. In addition to on-the-job training sessions, some of the classes and workshops taught by Reverend Cordova Breen, I'll get it. My Boomerang Won't Come Back, Living a Life of Prosperity. Wealthy Thinking. Are you a secret? What brand are you? Character is Destiny, a 7-part series. S-O-M in Sum, S-U-M. treatment retreat, noble purpose, discovering who I am. Those sound wonderful. Marianne has been here with us to speak before, and we are so delighted that she is here back with us today. Please join me in welcoming back Reverend Marianne Cordova Breen.
Thank you, and hopefully this is on and working. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So today, it's a fun day. And for a moment, I'm going to invite the camera to come a little closer, because today we are going to talk about this part, beauty and the beast. So again, welcome. Happy to be here with my High Desert friends, both here and online. So Beauty and the Beast, a story for all time. And a story that is more personal than any story ever told, as you will see as we talk about it. So as the story begins in Beauty and the Beast, there is a prince in a castle. And this prince, as many princes could be, is rather spoiled and cruel and arrogant. And one dark and stormy night, an old lady comes in to seek refuge. And he denies her. And she says, but I'll give you this rose. And he still denies her. And at that point, the lady, poof, turns into this beautiful, young, but magical woman who puts the spell on the whole castle and the prince and turns him into the beast. The prince is so disgusted because he was sort of in love with his handsome face. He is so disgusted with himself that he hides away in the castle in disgust and despair. Because he looks at himself and goes, what am I going to do? And the old lady had said, well, this spell is here for 10 years. And if you find true love in 10 years, well, the spell can be broken. But if you don't, sorry, dude, you're just going to die. So he figures he's going to die, and in the meantime, there's going to be nothing because he's a beast. Have that ever happened to you, where something happened in your life and you just felt like life is over? And you went into despair, thinking nothing was ever going to be right again? Well, that's where the prince was. And he only had 10 years to fix it and didn't know how to fix it. Lucky for him, in the meantime, there lived in a nearby town a father and his daughter. Father and daughter just loved each other to pieces. But this daughter was a little different than the other ladies in town. Whereas the other ladies in this time, sort of a medieval time when we did have castles, right? So in the medieval time, this lady was not interested in darning or cooking or finding the proper husband. She did dream about having a Prince Charming sometime in her life, but she wasn't willing to give up who she was, to compromise herself in order to get one. Instead of some of the regular things that ladies of the time were interested in, she was interested in books. And she also had this ability to see the beauty all around her and to see the uniqueness of each of her fellow townspeople. So the daughter's name is Belle, which we know means beauty, hence Beauty and the Beast. So as the story goes on, at some point, depending on the version you see, the father ends up at the beast's castle and gets imprisoned. And then the daughter finds out and goes to the castle and offers herself in trade, which the beast quickly takes. She did this, of course, out of love for her father. So thus begins the story, the relationship of Beauty and the Beast. Now, as time goes on, well, in the beginning, Beauty's kind of frightened. But as time goes on, they start to develop a relationship. Beauty starts to see something different. But before we go much further, let's talk about what beauty is. We think of beauty, the crown, right? But Belle in the story was not a princess. She doesn't need a crown. We don't need a crown for beauty, right? Beauty is not necessarily a person even. Think for a moment of the most beautiful thing that you have ever experienced. Let's sit back for a second. Think, what was the most beautiful thing you have ever experienced? Could have been an event, could have been a person, could have been nature. Just allow your mind to go there. Feel that feeling that you're feeling when you think about it. What is it that your heart is feeling when you think about that beauty? That feeling that you have is grace. God's self-givingness to us. We feel the love and the flow of that harmony, and that feeling that all is well. That's grace. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and grace is in the heart of the beholder. So this is what Belle, or Beauty, in the story represents, is that special quality, that special principle. One of Thomas Troy's 7 qualities of God is beauty. And this is what she represents, is that beauty. And so that as we go further looking at this, or I want to kind of read you kind of an essence of beauty. Beauty is the manifestation of life, light, and love. It is the wholeness of expression, a demonstration of an intuitive sense of balance and harmony. Beauty stirs deep emotions that brings us to a place of connection. And that's what we're feeling when we thought about our most beautiful moment. What is that beautiful moment? So, as the story proceeds, Beauty is now in the castle. She and the prince are developing a relationship. And pretty soon, they share a love of books and other experiences, and they're starting to get along, right? Okay. Starting to get along and have some fun with each other, actually, and do things. But this relationship building gets interrupted. Belle's father gets ill, and she needs to leave because she loves her father too, and she wants to leave to be with her father, to take care of him. Now the prince, or the beast, who was originally very arrogant, very demanding, and pretty much a big bully, but with a foul temper. In the beginning, at this point, he sees how much Beauty wants to go home, Belle wants to go home, and he succumbs to her desires. He succumbs to the needs of Beauty. He is soft. He's loved. Right? So Belle leaves. She goes to take care of her father, but then she comes back because she too is in love. She too is remembering the relationship. In the beginning, she was very frightened and locked herself in her room and wouldn't come out. But then as she kind of crept out slowly, as she began to recenter and remember who she was, remember that she is the consciousness of Beauty, the quality of God that is Beauty. As she remembered who she was and felt that grace within her, she became less frightened of the prince, the beast. And as she was less frightened, she was able to look past the appearance deep within. And as she looked deep within, she began to see the beauty in him. And that's how the relationship developed. So, the beast in this story is also symbolic. You know, a beast is not necessarily just an ugly four-legged animal. Webster defines a beast as a mean, evil, self-important, unprincipled person. But a beast is not necessarily, just like Beauty is not necessarily a person, a beast is not necessarily a person either. A beast can be an event. A beast can be a word. Could be a person, because we created God. So think for a moment, again, stop and think just for a moment about a beast in your life. We all have them. And no, we won't stay there long, you know, so we don't have to stay there long. But think about a beast in your life. Something ugly and mean and awful, selfish maybe, devastating, changed your life. Okay, when you got that, just set it aside for a moment. We all have beasts in our lives, all of us, and they take different forms. I think last time that I spoke to you, or a couple months ago when I spoke to you about the color bricks, that pile of bricks, I shared with you a beast in my life about when my mother died. Well, recently, I had a different kind of beast. And sometimes the beast is just mindset. Well, my granddaughter got married in my backyard about a month ago. And I just wanted this to be so perfect. So to prepare for her wedding, I was climbing up and down. I have these 25-foot high waterfalls that come down in my backyard. And I'm climbing up and down the waterfalls and cleaning them out and carrying jugs of vinegar to kill the mosquitoes. Or chase them away, I'm not sure which it does, but it gets rid of the mosquitoes. And all of this kind of stuff, and restaining furniture because she didn't want pine, she wanted dark oak. And doing all of this kind of stuff, and lo and behold, 2 days after the wedding, made it through the wedding, 2 days after the wedding, I ended up with a pinched nerve. A really bad pinched nerve. This pain was worse than labor, 24/7 on the floor. Drugs weren't working. Got some drugs too, you know. Laying on that floor in the middle of the night, writhing in pain. There's a lot of prayer going on. There's a lot of, and I have to admit, yeah, just because you become a minister doesn't mean you got it all together yet. So, laying on the floor in the middle of the night, you know, first starting off with the old pleading prayer that I learned as a child, you know, God, you know, just takes me, I'll do anything. But night after night, you start moving into center. Late at night, there's no phones ringing. There's no people stirring. Just God and me. After I dropped into more of a prayer where I can listen, where I can get centered, I realized that I needed to stop focusing on the pain, the beast, and move to some center place where there had to be the beauty. There had to be something. Now, early on in this, because this lasted like 4 weeks, that early on I got a little lesson, and I go, okay, they got that, and that was very surface. I had to go deeper. I had to go much deeper. I had to realize that this message was very significant, would be life-changing, and create a paradigm shift in my life. My beast was not another person. My beast was my own mindset. Very often, that's what our beast is. Sometimes it comes from something that somebody even just said off the cuff and had no intention of having any impact, but we take it in and create our own beast. So I won't go into the details of what my beauty was out of this. It's mine, and it not necessarily would make any sense to you at all. But the idea is we all have them. Ark. Who wants to face, you know? When you think of that beast, you know, a little while ago I said, okay, think about that for a moment, and you're like, okay, I'm not going there. You know, I'm not dealing with that. You know, I'm just going to forget that it exists. Problem is, in real life, the beast doesn't die after 10 years of knowing it. In real life, it sticks around. Never, ever goes away. We can keep trying to shut it down. So what do we do about it? Do we keep on trucking and pretend that it doesn't exist or that was in the past? Well, there's only one way to deal with the beast, and that's through love. In the middle of the story, before the beast and beauty start getting their relationship, Belle tries to run away. And she gets in some big trouble with the wolves, you know, of the life. We all have wolves too, you know, lions, tigers, and bears, and wolves in our life. So in the middle of the story, she tries to run away. The wolves are attacking her, and the beast saves her. Very often, our beasts have saved us without us realizing. If not saved us, made our life better. Gave us a new perspective or shifted us into a new way of living. So the beast is there for us. But again, you know, if you've got a beast, particularly a big one, The last thing in the world you want to do, I mean, we teach in science mind to stay positive, everything's gonna work, you know, I'm going forward. And I'm not dealing with that. We do a lot of that. But we do need to deal with these beasts. And there's only one way. Because we don't get to let the beast die. And we can't kill it. In the story, Beauty has a suitor back in town. And in his bravado, he thinks he's going to come kill the beast and get Beauty for himself. He fails miserably. So bravado doesn't get it. And most of us will not look that beast in the eye and go, oh, I love you. You know, no, we don't love it to start with. It's ugly, it's mean, it's wrong, just plain wrong. So how do we do this? How do we move forward? Well, just as Belle needed to remember who she was, we need to remember who we are. We need to remember that as God is beauty, I am beauty. As God is love, I am love. We need to first center ourselves in that beauty and love, to see the beauty within ourselves and around us, to feel that grace that we felt when we first kind of thought about that beauty a little while ago. To feel that grace within us. To sit with it a while till we're totally immersed, completely immersed in beauty and love, in that peace that God is. And only when we are there can we begin to look at a beast without being frightened. Only from that perspective can we look at it at all and begin to see what comes next. We all have that beast. We all have that capability of love. So, looking at today and looking at our story, as I said in the beginning, this is a tale of all times, and it's a story that's so personal, because our beasts are not something we want to share. They're hard for us to deal with on our own, and we're not about to just go, oh, look at my, no. We first have to get centered. We have to go into that grace. We don't have, the great thing about it is that we don't have to earn grace. It's just there. We can step into that flow of love and peace and just let it carry us. Let it enfold us. Let it blanket us until we are so comfortable. Grace is like water. It's so soft, and yet it is so powerful. Nothing can conquer love. Nothing. No beast ever existed that could conquer love. So your mission this week, should you choose to accept it, is not impossible. Your mission is to find the time where you can just sit in beauty and grace and love and let it completely enfold you, become immersed. And then pick a beast in your life. Maybe you want to start with a little one. And look at it without being frightened. Because remember, nothing can conquer love, so that you don't need to be frightened. Just spend some time with some beasts in your life. And remember, we don't get to kill the beast. We have to transform it into the prince, into a beauty of our life. Only love will transform that. So I invite you to take some time this week and try it for yourself. Look for that beauty. It is there. I can't tell you what it is. It's your beast. It's your beauty. All I can tell you is I know 100% that it is there. The beauty is within the beast. So I honor you on your journey. I love you.
Thank you, Reverend Mary Ann. I loved it that our mission is not impossible. And that's what we teach here, possibilities. Anyhow, we have some special music by Chris Hermston.
As old as time, true as it can be, barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change, small to say the least, both a little scared, neither one prepared, Beauty and the Beast. Ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Tale as old as time, tale just for sure, learning you were wrong. Certain as the sun, rising in the east, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, beauty and the beast. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, beauty and the beast.
How perfect was that? Thank you, Chris.
That was for Mary Ann. It was her request.
Yay! Thank you, Mary Ann. Okay. This is our giving time. Take a moment to join me in appreciation for this community and our philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There is always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude. We are once again passing the baskets. Thank you to our wonderful ushers today. Because we appreciate you and your offering, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to our center. You can use the Vanco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can visit our website to make a donation, www.hi-desert.org. And just scroll down till you find the donate button. Or you can drop off a donation throughout the week or by mail. Thank you for supporting our center. Now please join me in reading aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside your program on the left side. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. I invite our ushers to start at the back of the room with the baskets, please.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
So we take these offerings, these gifts, knowing that they were given in love, and they go forth from here in love, knowing that they multiply tenfold and more, circulating throughout our community, throughout this world, spreading that love, that intention, that energy that it carries forth. And so it is.
So it is. I'd like the practitioners to come forward at this time, please, on the stage. Our practitioner team is here to serve you. The prayer request box is in the garden room under the picture of Ernest Holmes, and our practitioners' phone numbers are on the back side of your program. Please reach out to one of our experienced practitioners for prayer, especially if you are going through a challenge in your life. They are here to know the truth for you and are available after the service for spiritual support if you require prayer. And now I invite Frank to read our affirmation for the day.
I will read it once first, and then if you'll join me for 2 repetitions, please. I appreciate the beauty and grace that dwells within all creation. If you will join me, please. I appreciate the beauty and the grace that dwells within all creation. I appreciate the beauty and grace that dwells within all creation.
Okay, Reverend Mary Ann Cordova Green will now give us our benediction for today.
Let us drop back into that center place. That place of beauty and love. That place where we recognize who we are. We are here. We are love. We are a divine expression. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we express that divine peace. And so I know, as we leave the sanctuary today, or for those online, as we move about, as we all go into our week, that we go in grace. For grace follows us. It's within, it's here, it's all around. We are immersed in this grace. We are immersed in this love, this divine givingness of God. All the time, in all ways. So we just open and accept it and breathe it in and let it soak us up. Life is good. God is great. We accept this almighty wisdom, this almighty love, this almighty peace and harmony in our life, right here, right now, and go forth in joy into the week until we meet again.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Mary Ann. Thank you to those of you who have joined us in person and those joining us online today. We will see you right here in person at the center and on HDCSL Live on YouTube every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And I also want to let the people online know that for the Your Opinion Matters survey, you may also call the office to answer these questions. And we are only doing this week. It's a one-time deal. So have a great week, everyone, and let's make it a great one. Take care, everyone.
I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do anything. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good I can do anything. It makes me feel so good I can do anything. It makes me feel so good I can do anything. All is well. Life is good.